This presentation will be walking you through the USFDA drug approval process. We'll break down this complex journey into 15 clear stages, making it easier to understand each step involved. Along the way, we'll also highlight the various types of meetings that take place between the FDA and the sponsor. Stage 1. Sponsor develops the new drug compound and seeks to have it approved by FDA for sale in the United States. Stage 2. Animal testing. Sponsor must test new drug on animals for toxicity. Multiple species are used to gather basic information on the safety and efficacy of the compound being investigated or researched. Stage 3. IND application. The sponsor submits an investigational new drug application to FDA based on the results from initial testing that include the drug's composition and manufacturing, and develops a plan for testing the drug on humans. Stage 4. IND review. FDA reviews the IND to assure that the proposed studies, generally referred to as clinical trials, do not place human subjects at unreasonable risk of harm. FDA also verifies that there are adequate informed consent and human subject protection. Stage 5. Phase 1 study participants, 20 to 100 healthy volunteers or people with the disease or condition. Length of study, several months. Purpose, safety and dosage. Approximately 70% of drugs move to the next phase. Stage 6. Phase 2 study participants, up to several hundred people with the disease or condition. Length of study, several months to 2 years. Purpose, efficacy and side effects. Approximately 33% of drugs move to the next phase. Stage 7. At the end of Phase 2, FDA and sponsors discuss how large-scale studies in Phase 3 will be done. Stage 8. Phase 3 study participants, 300 to 3,000 volunteers who have the disease or condition. Length of study, 1 to 4 years. Purpose, efficacy and monitoring of adverse reactions. Approximately 25 to 30% of drugs move to the next phase. Stage 9. Review meeting. FDA meets with a drug sponsor prior to submission of a new drug application. Stage 10. NDA application. The drug sponsor formally asks FDA to approve a drug for marketing in the United States by submitting an NDA. An NDA includes all animal and human data and analyses of the data, as well as information about how the drug behaves in the body and how it is manufactured. Stage 11. Application review. After an NDA is received, FDA has 60 days to decide whether to file it so it can be reviewed. If FDA files the NDA, the FDA review team is assigned to evaluate the sponsor's research on the drug's safety and effectiveness. Stage 12. Drug labeling. FDA reviews the drug's professional labeling and assures appropriate information is communicated to healthcare professionals and consumers. Stage 13. Facility inspection. FDA inspects the facilities where the drug will be manufactured. Stage 14. Drug approval. FDA reviewers will approve the application or issue a response letter. Stage 15. Phase 4 study participants. Several thousand volunteers who have the disease or condition. Purpose, safety and efficacy. Formal meetings between the FDA and sponsors or applicants of PDUFA products. There are 6 types of formal meetings under PDUFA that occur between requesters and FDA. Type A meeting. Type A meetings are those that are necessary for an otherwise stalled product development program to proceed or to address an important safety issue. Reasons for a Type A meeting include the following. Dispute resolution meetings. Meetings to discuss clinical holds, special protocol assessment. Type B meeting pre-investigational new drug application, pre-IND. Meetings pre-emergency use authorization meetings, pre-new drug application, pre-biologics license application meetings, post-action meetings, requested 3 or more months after receipt of an FDA regulatory action other than an approval. Meetings regarding risk evaluation and mitigation strategies or post-marketing requirements that occur outside the context of the review of a marketing application. Meetings held to discuss the overall development program for products granted breakthrough therapy or regenerative medicine advanced therapy RMAT designation status. Type B EOP meeting. Certain end of Phase 1 meetings. End of Phase 2 i.e. pre-phase 3 meetings. Type C meeting. A Type C meeting is any meeting other than a Type A, Type B EOP, Type D, or Interact meeting regarding the development and review of a product, including meetings to facilitate early consultations on the use of a biomarker as a new surrogate endpoint that has never been previously used as the primary basis for product approval in the proposed context of use. Type D meeting. A Type D meeting is focused on a narrow set of issues that are used to discuss issues at key decision points to provide timely feedback critical to move the program forward. For example, often one, but typically not more than 2 issues and associated questions. Interact meeting. Interact meetings are intended for novel products and development programs that present unique challenges in early development, that is, before filing of an IND or before having a pre-IND meeting. The issues typically relate to IND requirements. For example, questions about design of IND-enabling toxicity studies, for example, species, endpoints, complex manufacturing technologies or processes, development of innovative devices used with a drug or biologic, or the use of new approach methodologies. Meeting formats: in-person, face-to-face, virtual face-to-face, teleconference, written response only. On this final slide, I want to emphasize the key takeaways we've discussed throughout our presentation. We've covered the essential concepts that are crucial for understanding the topic at hand.